Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation today is from Jaitsari Mahalla Panjwa, Sabad that was revealed to the fifth Nanak, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, and recorded, arranged in the rag Jaitsari. The recitation of the Sabad first. Jaitsari Mahalla Panjwa, Har Jan Simro Hirday Ram, Har Jan ko apada nikat n aave, Puran das ke kaam rahao. Kot bigan bin se har seva, Nehchal Govind dham. Bhagavant Bhagat ko pau kich nahi, Adar devat jam. Taj Gopal aan jo karni, Soi soi bin sat kham. Charan kamal hirday gaho nanak, Sukh samuh bisram. The literal reading of the Rahau verse. Devotees of the Har Self, the Har Jan, they hold the all-pervading presence, Ram, in continuous living awareness. Simarahu. Har Jan Simarahu Hirday Ram. Where do they hold this? At the very seat of their consciousness, the core of their being, which is called Hirday, literally meaning the heart, meaning at the heart of their consciousness, they are in living awareness of Ram. And for such devotees, adversity does not draw near. Apada nikat n aave. And moreover, the life purpose, the deepest work of such a servant is brought to its fullest, most complete fruition. Puran das ke kaam. So here, the idea is to hold one's mind at its deepest core, at the center, at the heart, to hold it there, to hold this awareness of the fact that you are in this consciousness, all-pervading consciousness that is called Ram, Ramyavaya. So, when you are in that state of consciousness, apada nikat n aave, no adversity draws near to you. What does that mean? What is the adversity? So first, we understand that when you actually center your mind in Ram, you get this sense of ultimate security. It's not an effort. It is simply a reorientation. That is Simran. Simran is not some mechanical repetition. It's centering, reorienting the mind, becoming rooted in wisdom, Nam. And so the crowning achievement of such an alignment is called Puran. Puran das ke kaam. Total, complete, perfect. So here, Puran, in the context of this verse, is the opposite of apada, which is adversity. Apada here is to be understood not as some difficulty or misfortune that strikes you from the outside, but apada should be read as a chronic condition. It is the condition that Gurbani calls haume, because in haume is adversarial conflict. That is the self-friction of the ego mind, pushing, resisting against the current of life, of what is. This is the root adversity, the root apada, that is resolved through centering in Ram. That is our deepest work, the attainment of wholeness, which means inner coherence, where the head and heart are all lined up. So that is the Rahau, the idea that completeness, perfection simply means completeness, where the opposites that are pulling at us are all subsumed in oneness. You see, that is what Ikoankar is. So we have to reflect that Ikoankar within us. Ikoankar is a paradoxical oneness. The two opposites are together. So we have opposing tendencies within us. Those have to be harmonized. And we have to be at the center. Quote begun bin se har seva, the next verse. Again, now from Apada, it comes to quote begun, which is inconsistency, contradictions that we just spoke about. The Guru is amplifying that by saying, by holding oneself in Har consciousness that we spoke about, one discovers the stable ground of Govind, the sustainer. Nehchal Govind Dham. That ground is stable ground. There, countless contradictions, countless inconsistencies of the mind are resolved. Go to begin binse, they disappear because you resolve them, because you are centered. Opposing tendencies are harmonized. And such a devotee is fortunate indeed, Bhagavant, because such a mind lives without conflict. Bhau kich nahi. Even the force of death that was once feared presents itself as a new commencement. Bhau kich nahi, adar devat jam. Adar means to honor. But there is another meaning to adar, which is a fresh beginning, a newness. And it is in that sense that we should understand adar devat jam. Otherwise, what does it mean to say that death will honor you, or the messenger of death honors you? What it means is that what was once feared, because you see, we live in anticipation of death. So we are living 100,000 deaths before the actual event occurs. And the actual event, we don't know. So we are living in anticipation of it, in fear of it. So it is that fear that disappears. Adar, because you are now centered and because you are now looking at life as a unified process, you understand now that even death presents itself as a transition from one state to another. Nothing to be feared. You see it as a natural process. And that is revolutionary, because when you are harmonized within, you see the true nature of death. As Kabir ji has said, Jis jagate jag, jis marne te jag dare, mere man anand, marne te hi paiye puran parmanand. So there are possibilities, there are immense possibilities which the door of death suggests to us. In fact, death now comes to the Bhagat as an opportunity. So, it is the end of inner resistance. the imagery of jam offering respect, if you want to take it literally, means you come into harmony with the order of existence. You accept it. And in conclusion, the opposite. Taj Gopal, if you abandon Govind, who is also Gopal, if you abandon that ground of awareness, whatever else you pursue, Aan jo karni, it remains half-baked, not fulfilled. Soi binsat kham. Kham is kachi, something that hasn't ripened. It remains unfulfilling because it has to ripen with the awareness of wisdom. So the Guru says, hold fast to that grounding presence. Charana Kamal Hirde Gaho. Go deep into the core of your being. Hirde Gaho means to extract, to go deep in. And Sukha Samu Bisram, that is where you will find that ultimate sense of security and peace. So misdirected striving, which the ego does, leads to exhaustion that the Guru spoke about, and the right anchoring leads to rest. So when life is oriented through the ego, our efforts multiply and lead to exhaustion. But there is no fulfillment. There's no ripening. There is no fruition. But when awareness is anchored within the har, striving gives way to ease, to sahaj. So Charan Kamal, the feet, is grounding, living connection to reality. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.